Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, witnesses, and for your testimony and discussion of these issues about weather. But Dr. Chin, you mentioned the changing landscape of the U.S. weather enterprise and the challenges that's presenting. You also mentioned, just as kind of as an example, that these include the shifting balance between government and private sector. So I guess my question deals with this. What do you foresee, and could you prioritize those for the future needs of the U.S. weather enterprise, and how and what Congress might do to be able to facilitate that?
Thank you for the question. That's a great question. We've been wrestled with this for a long time. The weather enterprise is broad. We have both. We have three sectors: the government, and the private, and the academic. So, in fact, I want to go back to an example we just discussed, the 5G. The weather enterprise is broad. A lot of times our challenge is even broader because the 5G that actually showed us example, the weather enterprise interface with other sectors. So I think national academies have the capability to bring in all three sectors and outside of weather enterprise to really make this assessment where we are currently. For instance, this 5G issue, it is complex. We interface with a different part of the technology and economy. So National Academy now is planning to bring in the board on radio frequency, which is not within our current weather enterprise, but we are expanding that because the need for the society. So if I may, I would like to comment on how should we go forward of making this enterprise is so broad and excellent on each individual parts, but the total is not meeting up the sum of each component. The total should be better than the sum. So in order to do that, I really think we have opportunity to bring this into a new operating model that bring in the academic, private, with the government agencies, not only one agency, but multi-agencies, National Science Foundation, NASA, Department of Energy, Transportation, many of them can bring their expertise on the table to develop models, observing capabilities, computing assessment. That's another complex field that we have not been able to do full assessment, whether it's the high-performance computing or cloud-based computing or combination of many things. So our horizon really is looking down the 10 years, 20 years from now. So we need to be totally open, bring all the sectors coming to the table to design the system. And in order to do that, we need to have a national center to bring the entire community in, and developing this unified model can address this complex issue we just discussed, because we're facing the weather impacts local and the global prediction increase our lead time. These are huge challenges. Our current modeling system are not capable of doing this for the time being. If I may, I want to add one more component. So we all have our phones in front of us. The phone, I have my first iPhone 2007. Only a little more than 10 years, this technology has changed our entire society. We are looking in the weather enterprise in terms of next decade or 2 decades, we have to be completely open-minded, embracing all possible sectors to think broad and bold, and thinking that we may really need assessment now, and how do we anticipate what's happening next. Thank you.
You timed that very well. You used all my time, so thank you very much. Great.